Welcome to a new series looking at Brotato, a potato-based roguelite. We're going to be jumping straight into it here. Of course, there are lots and lots of guns. The best part of this game here, of course, is that we can stack up many guns there. We can have up to 6 with most of our characters, which is a lot of fun. Now, we've unlocked some characters already. There are a lot of different stats to consider yourself with or to think about. There's a lot going on here. It's a lot of fun there, honestly. It's very similar to Vampire Survivors and also 20 minutes to survive. That's it. Almost got that one completely wrong there. Why don't we just go for something that's a little bit easier to think about, which is the Generalist. So whenever we get 2 melee damage, we get 1 range damage, and vice versa there basically. So you can only equip 3 melee weapons and 3 range weapons. So sometimes you'll go full melee builds, sometimes you'll go full range builds. But let's try out the Generalist, who we haven't played with just yet. And you know what? We start with... Oh, we've got so many weapons to go for here, of course. Why don't we try... Do we have any weapons that benefit from both here at the moment? The Cacti Club. So that is based off of melee damage, but then it spawns 3 projectiles. So Cacti Club I think will be quite a nice one with this synergy. And we will go for Danger Level 2. Now, as mentioned there, we have played a little bit on our Twitch account, on our live streams, twitch.tv/Endoy. Feel free to check us out. So we have got a few levels through here. So as we can see these little shards popping out there as we hit them. So basically we automatically swing, we move around, we can use WASD, but for the sake of the videos here I've decided to go for the mouse movement scheme there, just because it means that my mechanical keyboard doesn't make too much noise there for you. Now we managed to get 52 of this green currency, whatever that is. We also didn't pick up 4 materials, but thankfully that is saved for our next round, which means that we get, rather than picking up 1 material there next round, we might have chances to pick up 2 until that's all expended, which is very nice. Now, we get level ups as denoted by our experience bar below the HP. With these level ups, we can do some passive upgrades to some of our stats. All of our stats can be seen on the right hand side. Hovering over there can show you what we have here. So your ranged attacks deal 0 additional damage. So that is a base damage increase. So if our damage beforehand with a ranged weapon was 10 and we have 5 range damage, that would give us 15 total with each hit. Now we also have percentage damage, which of course increases that by a multiplier effect by a percentage, and can also decrease it if we've got negatives there too. So we can have green stats, which means that it starts above, and red stats, which means that it is below. And that's going to be the build here. We try and make some trade-offs there. We try and get some things that work really nice with our build, try and get some weapons that suit it as well, but we might have to sacrifice some armor or some range or some luck or the harvesting, which is basically passive material and experience generation. So you'll see what I mean as we go along here. Why don't we start with 1 armor? So armor down here goes from 0 to 1. And now that we have 1 armor, we take 6% less damage. So we're not going to be planning to take damage here. But if we do, we'll feel a little bit better for it. Now, SMG is not too bad here either. I really don't want to lose either of these 2 damages, so we'll remove that for now. And do we go for a double barrel shotgun as well? So you can see 2 of 6 weapons. We're currently covering our items, so apologies for that. But it's just the best way to do things. Now we'll go for 2 max HP and 2 melee damage. And as mentioned there with this character type, when we get melee damage, we also get half that in range damage. So there we go. We got 2 melee plus 1 ranged. And that's why getting these type of upgrades here are so important for us. So now we see that we have a Cacti Club that does 11 damage with a 3% chance to crit, shoots or melees every 1.68 seconds. And hitting an enemy spawns 3 projectiles, which is very nice. And then of course just our SMG. So we have 1 melee weapon and 1 ranged weapon. Remember that we can only have 3 of each at maximum. And we also have these little characteristics there. So underneath the title SMG, we have a gun here. If we stack up multiples of that category, then we get a little bonus there as denoted in that top right hand corner there, which is guns. So if we have 3 guns, we get plus 20 range. And that is just a static bonus effect there. Range, of course, is half as effective, on melee weapons, but still does help out regardless. Now, we'll just keep going here. This will make a lot more sense as we go through it. We have our SMG and then we have our club once we get close. But these enemies are very weak here, the earlier waves, of course, as you'd expect. So it's really not going to be that difficult. Now we see that these enemies take a couple hits to kill. And there we go. Our club is being swung, but I don't even know if it's got a single kill here just yet. There we go. Right at the very end. So 46 from this one. I do like some extra speed. Crit chance works on both melee and ranged weapons there, of course. Let's go for some extra speed there. Extra pickup range, extra harvesting, less dodge there. And that's where you can start to see where you lose some benefits. Extra crit damage, but less plain damage there, I suppose. We'll go for that. Do we go for a screwdriver? I don't think so. I think we roll once. But the fertilizers, we don't want to take that one there. Torch, not good enough. We're just going to skip these. We can save our money for later on there, of course. We don't have to spend it all right away. In fact, there are some items that help you or encourage you, whoops, as we took our first bit of damage there. Thankfully, we do have some passive regen, or we will do once we start investing some stats into that tree, if you like. Now here we have some new enemy types. These guys turn red and then charge at you. We have to be a little bit cautious of this. There we go. So keep your distance, of course, your range is important, and we do finish things off. 77 gold to our name there. And actually, let's go for 1% lifesteal, just so that we have a chance to heal a little bit there at the end. Extra range damage, not too bad. Or 3 melee damage though, will give us an extra range damage as well. Very, very nice. And I think we will re-roll rather than taking any of these, although we should be taking more weapons. Plus 6% damage. Extra crit percent, slingshot. Slingshot does bounce, so we fire from one to the next there. So we will take that one. Let's go. And there we go. Now we've got our 3 hands working. Don't ask how it works, it just does. But as mentioned, you can have up to 6 weapons, so we'll be trying to stack that up a little bit later. The sling does ricochet, so it goes from one to the next, which is also very nice. But honestly, the amount of depth in this game there is absolutely insane. There's so much that you can do, so many different paths that you can take, and that's what I'm really looking forward to. And I had an absolute blast on my Twitch stream earlier. So I decided to go for this now, play through it a little bit further and see where we managed to make it to. Now the difficulty certainly ramps up as you get a few other bits and pieces here. Let's go dodge there, increase our chance to dodge attacks so we don't take any damage. I think we just want to keep going for the damage here just now. Brings us back into the positives, and we got 2 level ups there. And now 2 range damage would also give us 1 melee damage. Alternatively, we could go for 4 melee damage, which gives us 2 range damage. So this one's absolutely the one to go for. Now we're stacking up quite nicely. Oh my god, we have an epic SMG. We're going to be saving that bad boy. So we will lock it. We could go for a second slingshot, and why don't we, just for the purposes of this demonstration here. You can actually combine 2 of the same rarity and 2 of the same items there. We do have our SMG there, which of course we saved around. We'll go for our coupon, which will obviously work long term. And plus 20 range for 38, we'll take that too. We won't combine these just yet because you only really want to be combining once you start maxing out your weapon slots. But it's just important that we make enough there to get our purple SMG, if at all possible. But yes, as I mentioned there's a lot to this game. A lot of decision making and a lot of flexibility there to change your build if you don't really like where it's going. At least with most characters. Some characters you're kind of shoehorns, down a certain build and you can't really get out of that. So if you get unlucky with those characters, it's not a great time, but I don't think it's as punishing as the likes of Binding of Isaac there, for example, where you've gone very deep into a run. You're really, really trying your best, horrible damage, and you don't have any luck with it. Now we will take, you can see different rarities with these ones as well, legs 2, 3, and 4. So, this is already better than the base upgrade, which I think would be 3%, so I think we will go for more speed. There's our SMG that we wanted to pick up. Ooh, we have maxed out our range weapons, because of course we're only allowed 3, and these are our 3. So the good news is we can combine the slingshot, turn it into a blue slingshot. Now we have 3 guns once again. Now this is a melee weapon. I think I will lock that. We can't take the laser gun. 1 less lifesteal. Instantly attract the material when it's dropped. Why don't we try the baby gecko? I haven't really gone for it before. Now usually of course you have to walk over or pick up the material. like that, like an absolute schmuck. But as we'll see sometimes, if we kill them from afar, then sometimes it'll get sucked straight to us. Like right there, for example. It took us a lot longer to happen than it should have done there. 15% chance, and it took maybe 10 plus kills. I guess that's not super outside of the realm of possibility there, I guess. Not at all. And there we go. That little cage there is an item pickup as well there, which is just basically a free, similar to a free shop item, but of course we don't get to choose it. It's just a random one. Okay, now you can see we start to have projectiles on the screen, so now dodging becomes more important. More so than it was before, and we did get another 2 level ups in this level too. You also get your HP fully replenished, so our item was Cake, which gave us 3 max HP if we decide to take it, but 1 less damage percentage, which I think is worth it. And here we go, we've got a purple upgrade, luck, range, elemental damage, or crit chance. I think I go for the luck. Luck affects our abilities there, or chances of finding items or consumables when we kill enemies, and the rarity of items in shop. Okay, so absolutely go for the 6 melee damage, which gives us an additional 3 range damage as well. So that's absolutely huge. Now, I do love the shurikens. I've had a lot of fun with them. Let's go for a shuriken. Oh, is that a ranged weapon? That's considered a ranged weapon. Okay, interesting. We'll go for scissors. Scissors have great lifesteal and are a melee weapon. Cyclops worm isn't terrible. We'll go for that. And we can afford the shuriken exactly. I kind of like the idea of keeping our SMG in case we can upgrade another SMG later. Why don't we sell this and buy the shuriken? Now, we're looking for more melee weapons. 1 more melee weapon would be nice. There we go. We'll see how we go. Now, of course, it is a bit of luck, but you can also re-roll in the shop. And that provides you an ability there to spend money, of course, and it does get more and more expensive the more that you re-roll. And you're really fishing or hunting for items. I guess use whichever definition there takes your fancy. Now, we've currently got 17 HP. We just healed for 1, and that was due to our lifesteal there. So I believe we've only got a 1% chance of lifestealing. But that 1%, given that we are shooting so frequently with our double SMGs here, is likely to proc pretty quick there. We've already gone from 17 up to 21 HP. We can also destroy these trees, which give us some goodies, and also that little fruit, whatever that is, like a little rotten apple, which heals us for 2. We can, of course, buff the efficacy or decrease the efficacy of those. And there we go. We didn't pick up a lot there, but now we've got them saved for next time. We're going to go for the melee damage again here. And hang on here. The mastery item is actually really good, isn't it? Because even though we lose 3 range damage, because we gain 6 melee damage, I believe we should gain that 3 range damage back. So it's basically just 100 gold for 6 range or melee damage. Excuse me. Let's see. Does our range damage stay the same here with this character? It does indeed. Beautiful. Now, I believe that you can also buy items in the shop, which will then combine automatically with the SMG. Let's see if that does work. It does indeed. So now we've got a blue SMG. And if we buy another blue SMG, then we might be able to combine both of these SMGs as well. So to see the difference, we've got 10 damage, we've got an 8% chance to crit, and 400 range, and 12 damage. So an increase there, the same crit chance, but increased base damage essentially. And that's because this one here gets 60% of our range skill, our range stat, which is currently 9. And this gets 70%, so we get bigger percentages, and the higher this is, the more damage that we deal as well. And every weapon has their own little status effects like that. You will get used to them as you play, but this game only costs, it was I think 6 New Zealand dollars there, so what's that, 50 cents in an American currency, US dollar? Oh, of course, it's probably more like $4, but still, it's an absolute steal. Absolute steal. I can highly recommend it. The amount of content that I've already got out of it there, the amount of fun, the enjoyment. Oh, there we go. So we take a lot of damage. So we have to be careful here. Playing a little bit carelessly can result in a very quick demise. And these guys all charge directly at us. Ooh, that was lucky. Yeah, we want to pick up all of our gubbins, of course. So just pay attention, and you won't meet an untimely end. But that's why, ooh, careful, careful. That's why having a decent speed stat can certainly help out too. We'll go pick up as much as we can. And there we go. A little bit safe for next time. Campfire. Slightly less speed, but more HP regen. HP regen does provide a little bit of healing every now and then. Here we go. Okay, extra attack speed, max HP, regen. I do like the max HP, but I think we go for the attack speed. And I do love the Bean Teacher. Much quicker experience gain, so we get faster levels. And we do lose some lifesteal, but we're already not gaining any lifesteal anyway, so why not? Why not? As we can see, we can reroll for a bit of money here. We'll do it once. We do have a pistol, but we've already got too many range weapons, so we need melee weapons. Plus 25% attack speed while standing still. Interesting. This brings our lifesteal back to neutral. I think we will go for it, if only to allow ourselves to get some lifesteal later on, because I believe it will be useful. Now the only benefit that we've got, and I think the main reason that we're healing given that our lifesteal is 0, and this might have been a mistake that I made earlier in our run, but we do have the scissors which do heal for us. So they have a very, very high chance. There are some medical items, like a medical gun for example, which you know, shoots enemies and you get some healing for shooting enemies as well there. There are also turrets that you can place down, or they get automatically placed down at the start of a round. And those can also heal you when you go near them and get shot by them. Kind of like, is it Widowmaker? Is that the one in Overwatch? Never played Overwatch, so I'm not really talking about a subject that I'm really knowledgeable on. But I know that there is some characters in some of those type games there where you can shoot your allies and, you know, instead of dealing damage, you heal them up a wee bit. You can see all the fruit, they last for the entire round, so if you don't need them, just bypass them. They don't have the same pickup radius as the other ones, you do have to step directly on them. And then, yeah, look at that, we saved all that HP for a bit later on. Now, 2 range damage is only 1 melee damage, but it's still worth going for in my books. Yeah, triceps, plus percentage damage there. So now we go from 13 percentage damage up to 25, as we can see over here. We do have wings, which is extra speed and range, at the cost of sacrificing some elemental damage. But we're really not going for that anyway, so let's go for wings. Let's also get another level of our shuriken, which goes from blue, dealing 19 damage, up to purple, dealing 24 damage. And the shuriken is quite nice because it bounces up to 3 times on a critical hit, which is a 50% chance of happening. If we increase our crit chance even higher, that of course stacks up a lot quicker. Plus HP, 8 HP regeneration, start waves with 50% HP. So we start with half of our max HP, but we do have a huge amount, and now we've got, with 10 HP regeneration, we regenerate 1 HP every second. And I would say that's pretty damn good. We won't re-roll again, but we really need our 6 melee weapon. And I do love as well, you know, the lovely cute art style there, but also, similar to Binding of Isaac, the upgrades that we get does change the appearance of our character there. So we can see the wings that we just bought are there. We got some sort of Super Saiyan hair there, or just I don't know, a bit of a wig or a toupee, not too sure where that came from. You buy a hat, you equip that hat, you buy a syringe, like steroids, and then it goes, you know, sticking out of your head there kind of thing. You know, there comes a point where you can't see everything, and I think some things get replaced by others, and there might be certain slots that can go there, but that's all aesthetic anyway. Your bonuses still persist, even if you can no longer see the item being worn. So, but it is just nice there to be able to have that kind of visual identifier about what's going on, what changes have been made. And you can see that there's a lot of damage going. And this game also has quite a nice wee soundtrack too there. It's kind of like your early 2000 Electro, excuse me. HP regen as well. Extra damage. Let's just go for the damage build here. Ooh, range damage is good because of course half the melee damage is also picked up. Extra armor while standing still. So we could go for a type of build there where we just stand still. Why don't we try it? We got lots of armor, but that's only standing still of course. We'll go for some extra armor and dodge at the cost of our max HP. Reroll once. Okay. We get extra melee damage, which of course translates into some range damage, some more max HP as well. We're not going for a fuel tank. The coffee could be quite nice, but I think we just leave it as such. Now please, just give me a 6th weapon there that's actually any good. Now we stand still, we get some armor. This is obviously risky if they're enemies that fire at us. And to be fair, armor only reduces the damage that you take. Dodge is the one that can help mitigate damage entirely. So I don't really want to stand still because I don't want to be taking damage in the first place. Like, I don't want to be encouraging that to happen. Instead, we'll just keep running around, going for where they spawn, trying to take them out at the source, get all those experience orbs there because they're not going to collect themselves. Just keep going here. Make sure you pick up those big groupings as we see them. And of course, trees can give us those items as we just saw there as well. We are taking some damage, so we'll get back this way. We're back up to full HP. Thank you to our scissors again there. Maybe a little bit of HP regen helping out there too. And also our lifesteal. But yeah, 1 HP regen each second is quite nice, but there does come a point where shots do about 12 damage. So, you know, if I'm not careful, 3 of those red shots could deal, well, enough to one-shot me basically. So I guess it's not really one shot if it's 3 shots coming in, but you know what I mean. Plus 10 max HP, restore 3 HP per second, cannot heal any other way. So we can't lifesteal, we cannot heal with that on the ground. So it is a unique item, and red does mean the highest rarity. I feel like it would be doing a disservice to not take this red item. It does also give us 10 max HP. We can only heal with the 3 HP per second, but I think that's still well worth it. So now lifesteal is useless to us, as is HP regeneration, which is a bit of a shame. But crit chance is not useless, especially with our shuriken. So we're going to go for our crit chance here. And we'll keep going. Wisdom. Okay, so we start with minus 20% damage, but we gain 5% damage every 5 seconds. So after 20 seconds, we're at our normal damage, and then after that, we only get stronger and stronger. So I'm going to go here. I'm also going to lock the little muscly dude. And I'll also go for the goat skull as well, because of course that benefits both of them. Still no melee weapons that we want to go for, huh? Okay, don't forget that we're also starting at half HP, but thanks to our early game regeneration, we will make that back in no time at all. Now you can see our shuriken spreading a lot, and you'll see just things flying across the screen there, like that shuriken going to our bottom right hand corner. It's going to jump from one enemy to the next there and do some great damage for us. So this does make it harder to get those multiple synergies down the same line, like our gun synergy or our piercing synergy or whatever the other ones are. Primitive, I believe, is one of them. So yeah, we'll just see how we go. But we still could get 3 shurikens. So that's one thing I didn't mention earlier, is that you can go for many of the same weapon. I don't believe there's a weapon cap. I think it's just you know, the chances of finding those weapons there are kind of the same all the way through. The rarity, of course, is based on your luck stat and how far you've progressed. Maybe your level there a little bit to it, so a lot of experience there saved up for later. Let's go for the damage here. Got some great damage, and we do have a laser gun. Don't know if we care for it though. We do have more scissors though, so we will go for more scissors. The lifesteal could, oh no, we can't even, our scissors are now useless as well. Where that's concerned, of course, because the lifesteal is no longer able to be used thanks to our item that we picked up, the torture. So we can't be healed by any other means. Let's go for a leather vest, little muscly dude, and we'll re-roll once. We do have a rock. I mean, it is a melee weapon, it's better than nothing. Triangle of power there greatly increases our damage there too. We do lose damage whenever we get hit, but I think it's worth locking. You can lock shop items, so if you like it but you don't have the means to purchase it just there, then that's worth going to. And our rock, of course, is our primitive weapon. And it's quite interesting there because, of course, sticks and stones, they are both of our primitive weapons, as are spears there. So there's a lot of weapon variety, there's a lot of build variety, there's a lot of stats that you can, you know, really meta game if you want to. But I'm just here to have fun. We're not trying to build the best runs ever, we're just trying to think of what decent options are as we go through our runs. Yeah, as mentioned there, some of the enemies get a lot stronger here later on. We are in difficulty 2, which I believe means that our enemies are stronger than beforehand. We have new enemy variants, new enemy types. We do have our item over there, very nice. And now we kind of need to be a little bit careful. As we can see, there's a lot of enemies here, but we want to go through and pick up all of these for our levels. We only have 7 seconds left on the wave. We have some lovely items there to be picked up. So we've got 2 items there that will open up here. Okay, cheaper items in the shop, and yeah, more elemental damage, less speed. I don't know how great that is actually. And if you think that you can find better ones than this, you can of course re-roll here also, which I will do once, see if we get lucky. We do get eyes, I'm not too sure if I care about that. I think I prefer about the triceps. And there's our triangle of power, so we're really going heavy damage right now. We'll try another baby gecko. So you can stack up multiples of the same item as we've seen here. We've got 2 baby geckos, we've got 2 little muscly dudes, we've got 2 leather vests. Sometimes they show a max, so baby gecko is limited to 7 for example, which would bring you to 100% chance of instantly attracting monsters. But we could have infinite numbers of musty little dudes there, so I wonder if there's some sort of cheat engine for this game here where you could just go for whatever you wanted to and just build up some crazy combos. I'm sure there are, but I've never really been one to play those super modded or super cheaty type games there. With the exception, of course, of back in the days of the early Grand Theft Autos, they're spawning in a tank, throwing the turret there to point behind you, and then just firing constantly behind you to get a super fast tank. Yeah, back when I was a kid there, I guess I was more, single player cheating is fine. I think that's fair to say. I don't think that's controversial whatsoever. Spawn in the car in Age of Empires 2, all that good stuff. What was the Cobra car, wasn't it? That was always fun, especially when you were, backs against the wall there, against the AI, and you needed just a little edge. Well, I guess a Cobra car's a bit more than a little edge. But yes, nonetheless, we got a little bit off tangent there. But sometimes those little side stories there, add a little bit of extra enjoyment there, and a little bit of spice to the runs, don't they? Okay, so we've got mouse, extra lifesteal, more enemies, less harvesting. So because we can't lifesteal, we're actually going to recycle this. We're going to say no, just give us the 35 credits up here, please. Now, speed and crit chance. I do like the speed, but I think we can do better. And that is definitely better. We will go for 12% damage. Now, attack speed would be nice. Our attack speed's only 12%, but, I think we can still do better with that one there. Extra piercing damage. I think we skip this. We'll re-roll once. Okay, engineering is for turrets that we place. We don't have any turrets to place there, unfortunately. We could go for the experience gain. It is 200 cost though. I think I would prefer just going max HP on myself there. It's a pretty substantial upgrade. We'll re-roll once again. Extra explosion size. So we don't actually have too many explosions here, so we'll just skip that one by. We will re-roll once more. Ooh. Brown is interesting, as is a rocket launcher. Rocket launcher is... it's a ranged weapon. I think we sell our SMG for it. We keep our shuriken. So we recycle this. We buy our rocket launcher. Our shiv there does a decent amount of elemental damage, which is, well, it's relatively flat at the moment, isn't it? But it's probably better than our cacti club at this stage. So we will lock it. There's another primitive. There's precise and elemental. So you can get situations where they are multiple different types. I think we just go now. And as you can see, the reroll getting more and more expensive. I don't think it's exponential, but it certainly does grow. There we go. And here's the soundtrack kicking in even more. And I did make the joke there. I don't know. You can decide whether this is apt or not. But I felt this kind of music there would fit in quite nicely at the Matrix. Oh my god, we took a lot of damage there. The Matrix cave rave, if you know what I'm talking about. Just that kind of early 2000s vibe. There's a lot of projectiles going on here. We have to be very careful of that. I'm trying to find a way through so that we can pick up all these goodies. Oh, see, running directly in is not always advisable, as we take a lot of damage there in the process. We do have our 3 regen per second, which is giving back quite a bit of HP, however. We've got 12 seconds to go on this. We'll just make our way through a little bit. I feel like we could be doing more damage though, but I also feel like actually, we missed out on our attack speed upgrades earlier. I think we should be going for a few more of those. Luck. Dodge is great. Dodge there, we currently have a 12% chance to dodge attacks. We'll go add that up to 21 there, or increase that up to 21. We're going to sell our cacti club. We'll go here. Extra armor for less speed. We currently take 32% less damage. I think this is worth it. We'll re-roll once again. And we have Tyler. I think we go for this attack speed here. Elemental damage plus 15 luck, less engineering. Let's go for our small magazine. Do we go for the wolf helmet? Extra elemental damage. Elemental damage does help quite a bit here with our lightning shiv. I don't think so. I think we just leave it as it is. Oh, excuse me. Wow, voice crack. Real voice real. So we are at wave 16, and I believe the wave always ends at wave 20. I'm not 100% on that one, but that's my understanding of the situation. And you can see that some of these enemies are turning red. That's because I believe there are support units in the back, which are these kind of brain-looking things. I'll try and point them out. That one right there that we just exploded. And they kind of, I don't know whether they give them shields or whether they give them attack upgrades or speed boosts or what, but they certainly do get a little bit stronger. You always seem to take a lot more damage, so avoiding those red ones is certainly something to be wary of. Look at those dodges, we run right through into the muck. But our missile launcher is doing quite good work here, just clearing out mobs pretty damn well. Good sidestep and go back the way that we just came. And now with it being auto-firing, it does mean that it's always targeting the closest unit, which can be both a good and a bad thing. Like if you've got a large unit running towards you that you really want to focus, and they're starting from far away, well, it's kind of tough, you know, it's going to shoot at whoever it wants to shoot at. Extra speed for the cost of luck, we'll go for that. Okay, a little muscly dude as well, we will go for that one as well. And now items like our go stacks are very good there the earlier that you get them, because plus 1% damage for every 18 weapons you kill with this weapon during a wave. So it's still useful now because we of course have greater numbers of enemies spawning, but it's certainly better to start kind of buffing that up in the earlier stages. Armor max HP but lose speed. Armor getting buffed would be very nice. Extra max HP. I think we lock this for next time. In fact, I think we do go for some of this there too. Yeah, let's see. We're going for quite a bit of armor, quite a bit of dodge, and a decent amount of HP regen with that kind of heroic item that you wanna, if you wanna call it that, the red coloured item that we found earlier. So I think we've got a decent chance, but then again, I have said that multiple times beforehand, only to die quite literally mere seconds later. So there's certainly not a guarantee. We're going to try our best here, get through these last few waves. As you can see, our speed is only just enough to kind of keep these guys out of range. I don't even know. We still haven't quite decided what kind of monsters these guys are. Like, they seem to be some sort of faces hidden in a jaw and a rib cage. I don't know. Some sort of massive fangs there. Big waves of enemies here. Try and take out these trees, as the trees are more likely, I feel like, to have those item drops than regular enemies are. And I do have to say that the game is very well crafted there to automatically pick up materials at the end of the round there, so that you can then win them back next round. I think that's a great addition to the game here. We'll go for a back upgrade. Warrior helmet, we saved for it. We will take it. Now we do have a shredder, but we want a shredder over, no, I think we keep these ones. Now the rarity of our items is not great, but then again we haven't really had much luck, no pun intended, that's not really a pun is it? We haven't really had much luck with upgrading our luck stat, which is how we usually get some of the more rare items. And part of that is of course because we've been focusing on damage. Now these are enemies that are very fast, so we want to keep making sure that we are kind of moving at all times. Which, to be fair, is just pretty good advice here anyway for this game. Let's make sure that our regen there keeps working. I think we just keep going around in a bit of a loop here so that we can pick up experience as we go through. But don't forget that we also have our little perk as well there, which means that some of these orbs just get sucked straight into us when we do kill them. And the yellow numbers as well also denote crits there. So I think our shuriken's critting quite a bit, which is why it's getting launched everywhere. And you'll also sometimes see the words dodge, like right there, when we would have taken damage, but we didn't because our dodge stat there helped us avoid it there. Just full stop. We get a level up, very nice. And as you can see, these waves get very bullet helly. Extra percentage damage, extra attack speed. I think we go for the attack speed again. So from 22% attack speed up to 32. I mean, we can go for more armor. We're currently at 46% less damage. Why don't we keep going for this? We're going to pick this up. We also pick up our lightning shiv, which turns it from blue into purple. Another weapon upgrade is always welcome here. And that means more burning of enemies there. We also have two precise weapons, our shuriken and our lightning shiv, which has increased our crit chance by further, which means that our shuriken now has a 56% crit chance there, which is quite nice, with only 15% base. And I think that's good there. We just keep going. Nothing else that we want to lock in our shop. And we just keep going here. So we've got about a minute to survive in this wave. And we are one wave away from our final boss, which is a boss with some mechanics. Yes, that's right. And this game, again, is only in early access. And I feel like it's got a lot of content there enough to justify, you know, certainly just the $5 US price tag there. So if you haven't already got this game, let me be the first to recommend it to you. If I'm not, we'll just pretend like I am. It's so good. It's a lot of fun. Oh, ouch. Okay, so there we go. Taking a bit of damage. Actually, why are we picking up the fruit? Because can we even heal from the fruit? I'm actually not too sure. It says that we are. Ooh, let's clear out here. We're actually not doing enough damage here to get a clear run through, are we? We do have enough passive healing though. We can basically run right through them. There we go. 430 gold. Burning spreads to a nearby enemy. Sure, that works with our lightning shiv. Burning activates faster. I don't think so. I think we reroll. Slingshot as our ranged weapon. No thank you. We can upgrade our scissors, but the lifesteal doesn't work. I still think it's worth it though. We'll refresh once more. We can buy a schmoop. Extra. No, we don't want to reduce the damage there. That's absolutely awful. Oh, but now you can see our rerolls are costing a lot here. Let's actually just go for the gummy here. We'll reroll once more. And then we really can't do anything anyway. Okay. I believe this is now our boss fight. And indeed it is there. So we want to get close enough there to do damage to you. But as we can see, that puts us in harm's way as well. As we do have to be careful of your little orbitals there. So we either stay close, stay far away. We just have to keep dodging as we go. You also lunge at us. But if we keep rotating around behind you, then that orbital will always be kind of on the other side of us, if that makes sense. Like if we keep going counterclockwise, like we currently are, we're staying pretty healthy. We're dealing damage to you. Not really taking too much damage, he says, before getting smacked right in the face. I think my point still stands. I rest my case, Your Honor. Yeah, we do have to be careful about backing ourselves into the corner, though. Okay, now we see that he's got a new stage of the fight there, where he's now launching different projectiles. So now you can see how difficult it is to avoid absolutely everything. We do have to keep our distance here for a little bit. There we go, we go through this way, we keep through this. And this is where having some range is quite good, because we can attack you from afar as we get in close. We took some damage there, however. Now we go there, and now we can see that his orbitals are attacking a lot faster. Oh, okay, we're taking some big damage. Let's actually back off so that we've got more room to maneuver. Good stuff. We've got some of our HP back. Now we can get back in there. Oh, okay. Took that one right on the noggin, chin, whatever, all the above. Oh, okay. There we go. And we did win a run with the Generalist. We get a pop-up in the bottom left-hand corner. And that was Danger 2 completed with the Generalist. I hope you enjoyed the first look at Brotato. We're going to be playing a bit more of this. This is probably going to be replacing Hades. Hades is still going to be there on our streams there, which you can catch at twitch.tv/Ndoya, so feel free to check that out there as well. Feel free to drop us a follow there. We're also going to be playing some Brotato on stream too. But also, if you like the video, please consider dropping us a like and a subscription. Greatly appreciated. Helps out the stream a great deal, and the YouTube channel, of course. Both one and the same, aren't they? You know, the Sandoya brand, cultivating any way we can. No, but thank you very much for joining us here. I had a great time. We'll be playing some more of this here, get some more recordings done. Let's have some more fun. Thank you very much for tuning in, and I'll catch you next time.